Hello and welcome to the In Force to Heaven Scenario 6 playthrough. We are at September 2nd. One short comment to previous videos. We forgot to check Tchev Bridge destruction, which is done at the beginning of the campaign. So let's fix this now. It is destroyed, already covered with the red cube. In the previous video we did a short run-through just looking at all of preparation phases and sub-phases. Now let's put this into practice. So first we've got activation pool preparation, and the first step is German cheat preservation. In case of campaign 2 or 1, in case of scenarios, we need to check special rules. For this scenario, we roll 1d6. We've got a 2. On a 6, German player would be able to preserve 2 cheats. With any other result, only 1. And this also represents other fronts on the south that are happening in parallel to what we have here. So let's pick one cheat to be preserved, and I want this. We can preserve any cheat, but plan any other cheat can be preserved, and we will do this with the 19th motorized corps. Then we check who has initiative. For now, German player has the initiative. It's the default initiative at the beginning of the turn of the game, until the Polish player announces a counteroffensive. This means basically that a German player can pick any other cheat, and this can be literally any cheat that he or she wants, and place it on the 5 EM, which is indicated right there, Polish or German initiative activation. And let's look for the, this is what I was looking for. Let's go with the HG Nord, Heeresgruppe Nord cheat. We'd like to do this because it's time to get some serious breakthrough on Mława sector. Going back to SOP, then we prepare the cheat pool. So we check what are the listed cheats for this scenario, and basically the cheat pool does not change between turns. And then we reveal and resolve a calendar card along with Soviet and Allied cards. We did not do this in the first turn because it was actually a part of setup which we postponed, and we just simply check if there are any events regarding September 2nd. The calendar deck serves two purposes. First, it introduces some historical or sometimes random events, but most of all, it is a placeholder for later Soviet and Western Allies cards that will be added to the deck with some additional events and the guidance for Soviet entry. For now, we have no event. It's just a flavor photo of a newspaper from the September 2nd. Now let's jump into phase 1B, unit logistics. So Polish player first. Step A is late mobilization starting at September 4th, doesn't apply. Then we check if we have any reinforcements to add. Yes, they would be, and this is why I wanted to check if the bridge is destroyed. If the Tchev bridge was intact, we would add there a German regiment. The bridge is destroyed, so this regiment does not enter the game. Then we go with replacements. And the formula here is that there is one replacement point generated by every army HQ on the map. which takes part in the game, and this scales towards scenarios. There is no well, there are some calculations for the German player. For the Polish player, it is a number of HQs. We do not count operational group, so this one doesn't count. We have 1, 2, 3 armies, which means we get one replacement point for each of those HQs. Let's mark it on the replacement track for now. For the German player, there is a formula that regards as well number of armies of army HQs on the map. So we have 2, and we have +1 automatically, and we have +1 if at least 3 HQs are on the map, which doesn't apply right now. And then we can use those replacement points. One replacement point replaces any unit besides armored units. 2 replacement points replace a armored unit. The same costs are for rebuilding destroyed units, and we cannot rebuild as isolated surrendered units, and we can use 2 replacement points to, let's call it, produce a new regiment, placing it next to Pomorze Army, which represents kind of another part of mobilization. So for the Polish player, let's replace those 2 cavalry brigades, because those might be very important. And let's replace, or let's rebuild a destroyed 9th Infantry Division on the lowest step, so in disrupted state. This will be all 3 replacement points. And for the German player, first 2 points to replace 3rd Panzer Division, and 1 point to replace this 12th Infantry Division. We used all of 3 replacement points. Replacement points can be preserved and are not demanded to be all used in one turn. So with replacements done, Polish Command Chaos doesn't apply now. We go to 1C Luftwaffe. Now we move Luftwaffe units from refit to Luftflotte holding boxes, and from flown it should be corrected to maintenance to refit box, which we will do. We have 1 unit and we move it to refit box. It cannot be used on this turn. Then we reorganize Stuka units. Let's do this now. Again, as previously, we will use only 1 divisional unit to change it into 4 small units. And now, for the September 2nd turn, 1 tactical unit can be assigned to each army HQ, which we will, of course, do. So we take 2 units, flip them to tactical air support site, and place them in tactical holding boxes of command displays. And the remaining 2 units go to the Luftflotte 1 holding box to be used for air raids. Polish Air Force, and now it's starting to get interesting, because if we look at the targeting table, air bases that are not flipped to our side are very vulnerable for destruction, and once destroyed, they cannot be rebuilt. So first, let's flip two Warszawa air bases. They decentralized or are side. Let's flip them all, because if they are not flipped, they will surely be quickly destroyed by Luftwaffe. And then we check our bomber brigade preparation. Special scenario rules apply here, and this means that one less bomber will be available than rolled from the table. And we have table for this right here. Bomber brigade availability. So we roll 1d6, and we've got a 6. So we get one less than rolled. So 2 minus 1 is 1, and there's always an option to add a second unit with 1d6 loss. Fortunately, we don't have to do that. So let's pick, it doesn't really matter, let's pick, both units work the same way, and the numbers on their life track represent number of units that are still operational inside a bomber brigade unit. With this done, we check weather. And we've got a 6, the weather is still sunny. Let's proceed to the action phase. So first, initiative cheat that was picked by the German player, and there are many strategies how to start your turn, taking into account what cheats are preserved. So as long as the German player has the initiative, he could forge his master plan for basically every turn. For now, we picked Heeresgruppe Nord cheat, and if you noticed, I added a little symbols to those cheats, and this is only for the module to indicate that this cheat has the second side that can be picked. So with this, we pick one army of Heeresgruppe Nord group, and we will pick army number 3. So let's begin our actions. 21st Division will definitely attack. 228 Division will attack as well. We forgot to check this bridge in the course of night movements, and it is destroyed. Well, bridge distractions have to be done at the moment of the movement, but if you forget to do this because there are so many bridges on the map, it doesn't really affect heavily your strategy, so you can do this at any point. But you should do this when the unit approaches a bridge. So with this bridge destroyed, it might be more beneficial to try to make some detour. Let's detach a regiment. Whoops, not delete, but clone. Let's detach a regiment, and the regiment will go for a sightseeing trip. So it's gonna cost 3 movement points to leave. Doesn't matter which method do we use. It's going to be anyway a 1 hex move. And in the module, units have another option, that instead of using DFR markers, like in the physical copy of the game, we can use something like this, which will add a number incorporated to a unit image. 217. Do we want to attack? Yes. Fortune favors the bold. Let's do attack with this unit. Are we going to try again to make a coordinated attack against Muava? Yes, I think we do. Here, let's try to move with the division number 1. It's gonna cost 1, 2 to leave Ezok, 1 to enter Ezok. And as the German player announces this movement, the Polish player can decide to perform a cavalry ride, which Mazowiecka brigade will do. We roll 1d6. The result is a 3 and a 3. In case of infantry, is a 1 step loss for cavalry, but the raided unit ends its activation. So, first division, there we have a step loss. We do not mark this in daily report. And division number 1 ended its activation. It will not be able to attack. And 12th division will try to attack. Let's separate them to remember that only one division will attack. And in case of this first brigade, let's not move, let's simply attack. So there's a panzer division as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it. We cannot move anymore. We go to the combat segment of the activation. Oh, and by the way, this is a army activation, so we can set up our army artillery, which we will do in the Mława sector. Because the Polish player does not have placed artillery anymore. This artillery has a range of 4 hexes, so we can definitely cover any of those combats. So let's go with this combat first. Open CRT. Initial strength ratio is 2 to 1. We've got terrain modifier for the breach -1, no conflicting orders, no other modifiers, exchange or DR. Let's jump 1 DRM using the divisional artillery. So we jump to 3 to 4 and let's roll. And the result is a 3. Defender retreat. Does the Polish player want to hold this breach? Yeah, let's do that. We roll 1 die. It's a 2. Oh, that's probably a bad news for the Polish unit. So we get 2. Defensive terrain value is +1. Stance. Let's check stance of Army Pomorze is a movement stance which does not help this unit. And we have nothing more to add. So it's a 3. So we cannot hold position, but retreat is not, there is no other effect, negative effect of this hold position attempt. So let's retreat to Grudziądz. We add 1 DFR for this retreat. We have some technical issues with this unit. Let me do this by hand. Okay, 16th division to be checked. And we advance planned attack marker. Remember, infantry foot units do not advance immediately, only mobile units. So it does not change any ZOG situation for other combats. Now, let's first attack Mława. So, strength ratio is a 2 to 1. Terrain, defensive plus down is -3, 1, 2, 3, and 3 is the maximum terrain shift DRM that you can get. We've got +1 for the detachment marker. And chances are not really good for now. But we will attack anyway. We won't use any artillery because we will try to hit flanks. and try to envelop the army and just simply pass by the defensive line, which is very Wehrmacht like style. Okay, let's roll 2, 3. The result is a 3, is a both loss. So we need to pick a unit that was, we should have done the primary unit before the roll, but it would be a 11th unit, so it takes a step loss, which we mark immediately in the daily report. And the Polish player has option to, oh sorry, we should have used our our armored train for -1, so it would be another plus AL. The roll is not double, so attacker is not stalled. So the second unit will take a step loss as well. And we increase daily report to 2. So does this unit want to hold position or withdraw without a loss? Um, let's take a step loss and hold this position. We mark this immediately in daily report as well. So this combat is done. Jałdowo sector. 1-1, no modifiers. BLEX. Let's use one army artillery, column shift, and let's use one divisional artillery for the DRM. So DR, DDR, Polish player cannot use any support, and the result is a 6, DDR. So brigade cannot cancel this retreat and retreats 2 hexes in clear terrain. No Stuka bombers were used, so step loss is avoided, and 217 will advance. And for this combat we've got 2-1, and let's use anything we can to open a way southwards. Let's use one shot, we can use 2. Let's use tactical air support, which will give DRM +2, and if a defending unit retreats via clear terrain or road, it will take additional step loss after additional roll of 1d6 on 4+. So let's roll 3-3. Double. Does double do anything in this combat? It does not, because this is not a town or city combat, it is not a coordinated combat, and we don't have any attacker loss result. So final result is a 3. Final result is a 3. Which is DDR. So let's retreat this way, because for cavalry unit, march hex does not create any problem. It can be entered by this unit. We do not check any movement costs in case of retreat, but we don't want to stop. If we retreat, well, we can retreat to Przasnysz town, but this will mean another step loss for this unit. And regarding that tactical air support was used, we don't want the step loss because it might it might destroy this unit. So we retreat first without a step loss, and let's check if sorry about that, I said that we make another die roll, we do not. We check our primary die, and in case of tactical air support, it is a 4 plus unmodified die. If it was 4 or more, it would have been a step loss for now, but as it was a unmodified 3, step loss is not used. Modified primary die is checked for hold advance check, which we will not do at this point. Let's flip this and return to S unit holding box. And our attacking 12th division will advance. And the last combat is 1-1, -1 for forest, and +2 for isolation. We do not add any other. Oh, and there's one more. There is a size difference: brigade versus regiment. We do not add any support, and the result is a 3 DR. And in case of DR, this unit can retreat to hexes. In case of DR, which is organized retreat, only the last hex is checked for a step loss due to enemy zone of control. So we are fine. We are fine too, and the unit immediately advances. With all combats done, we perform advances after combat. So first, for foot units. So first we advance here, then we advance here. For some reason, added DFR in the unit image does not work. On the flip side, I have no idea why yet. I suppose the lost step layer simply covers everything that is on the unit, and I don't know yet how to fix this, but I maybe will. But it doesn't create any problems because we can use DFR markers. And Heeresgruppe Nord activation is now done. We move cheat 3, advance time, and we have random activation, which is always random on 7 AM. And it is Heeresgruppe Süd, which works as no activation in case of scenario that does not regard Heeresgruppe Nord. Now, 9 AM. The German player has an option to use his motorized corps cheat from the preserved activation box, but he will decline because there will be a better occasion to use this. Although, maybe. Let's see. Let's analyze briefly our situation. If this corpse does not move now, it may help the Polish player to create some defensive line in those woods. So I think yes. All right, let's do this. Let's use the 19th corpse activation. Conflicting orders does not apply from the HG Nord cheat because only the third army was activated by this cheat. And we begin our activation. So first, this hex is free of enemy units, so this bridge can be checked for repair. And in case of yellow bridge, we have two methods. Or we can roll a die, or two movement points can be used to be repaired automatically. And I think the second motorized unit will use two. We activate this unit first. It will use two of its movement points to repair this bridge. And as we see terrain effects chart, there is a cost +1 for all units in the same activation as repair. So crossing this bridge will cost 1 extra movement point. So with 2 movement points used. Let's see if we can enter these woods. Actually not, because it costs 4 plus 1 for just repaired bridge, plus 1, well, 2 movement points, additional 2 movement points. Oh, there is a, okay, there's something to be fixed. It should be, if there is no road, it should be plus 1 and additional plus 1, additional plus 1. Okay, to be fixed. Something obvious that I have not spotted before. Okay, let's with this unit, go back. So we pay 1 movement point, 2 movement points because of Zog from this unit. This is weak Zog, so this unit wouldn't create a cost. So that's 4 used. There is no movement, there is no Izog because of the lake. So it's 5 movement points, and in the future we'll be able to try to repair this bridge if it is not manned. For the 3rd Panzer Division, if we attack through unbridged minor river, it will be yeah, mechanized units cannot solely attack but can join foot infantry in 1-2 strength. So this unit cannot attack by itself, but we can move north. It's 4 MP plus 1 for the bridge plus 1. Nope, we cannot enter this hex either. So okay, let's first activate this unit. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 for Pomorska. We consolidate automatically with this unit. We moved 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, this is what we done. Yes, this is what we have done. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for entering zone of control. And we will not place no recon marker because there is a road and recon is still in force. So does Pomorska brigade want to use cavalry raid? Because if not, this unit will be able to attack, which might have worse consequences than trying to stop it. Let's do this. 4 and 4 is a step loss for the cavalry unit. But the 20th division is stalled and will not be able to attack. So now, what do we want to do with this 3rd Panzer unit? We're gonna just leave it like it is for now with this detached spearhead, because there's no really better option to move. We need to wait for this road to be opened. And we can move our motorized corps, which we will not, because there is no better position for it. So after all, it was not really a good activation. If it wasn't rushed for the purpose of recording this video, I would probably find a better way to use this corpse. So anyway, then we got no activation. Then we've got Guderian. And this is a really brilliant news, because now we can activate this unit and attack this Pomorska. And we have no conflicting orders, which is perfect. So we do not move, we simply attack. We could have moved 1 hex. Initial ratio is 2-1. We add -1 for the terrain. We add +1 for the disruption. Do we want to use any support? We could use, yes, I think we want to destroy this unit. So let's use one divisional artillery, as this attack is in range of 4th Army HQ. Let's roll 6, 1. Result is a 6, and it is a D1R. So this unit is destroyed. Send to destroyed box. We add daily report, and we enter this hex and check for the bridge destruction. It is destroyed. We do not advance time, and we've got Luftwaffe right. So let's open our Luftwaffe holding box. So what do we want to do? We want to finish off this navy. So now let's not focus on front line. Let's focus on other parts. So first, let's see. For fleet at sea, a small unit will hit on 4+, and there is no cover, air cover. So let's send one small unit for the fleet. Let's postpone bombarding Warsaw for now. Let's try to tarnish HQs. So 2 units for this HQ. We can, of course, send as many units as we want to for one target. 2 units on this, and let's attack the railway infrastructure. So we send this one to cover this box. Time of the day is 1 p.m. in clear weather, which means air raids will not fail on double result. So let's begin with navy attack, and we got a miss, unfortunately. Now Pomorze Army HQ. So we've got no air cover now, because its value of this airbase is now 0. So we hit on 4+, and on 6 we flip the HQ to the emergency side. 5. This is a hit, so we add logistics damage 1. Now, until the Polish player repairs this, army HQ range is lowered by 1. The second rate is also a hit, so immediately flip this to... Oh, that's interesting. Okay, another technical issue that I have not spotted before. Probably logistics 2 marker is named the same as this cheat. So this is why, although it should be -2 cheat, -2 marker, yep, instead of -2 marker, we've got a... let's run refresh counters. I think I fixed this problem. Nope, I did not. All right, so let's just simply put 2 markers. So we'll remember -2 is the maximum logistics damage. Okay, sorry about that. We return those units to holding box. Then we try to do the same with Modlin, which is bombarded with 2 F units. And in case of HQ, doesn't matter if a unit is horizontal or not. It bombards not only HQ itself, but logistical roads and stuff like this. So first is a miss, second one is a miss. Much worse luck with the Modlin army. And the last thing that we wanted to bombard was, I think, airbase. Is it correct? We used two units as TAS, and we used one unit to bombard fleet. Huh. I have no idea. I would have to click few times redo button, because I don't remember what have I done with the second raid. What happened with the counter? I will see it. I will see it later in the video. So anyway, what I wanted to do is to bombard. Maybe I returned this before. Yeah, I'll see on the video later. Let's now proceed. So with this unit, I wanted to bombard airbase, and we need for the R airbase we need a 6. We can roll one die because double doesn't matter right now, and we've got a 4, which does not matter at this point. Right. Forgive me some small technical issues to be fixed soon. And let's go with we advance time, and let's go for the last activation for this part, as I will break off and to fix those little mistakes that I have that there are in the module. Oh, no activation. Now let's go another one. 5 p.m. and we've got Polish general staff. And actually, this is a first Polish activation of the day. So well, or not, because any of those could have been a Polish activation as well. So with this Polish activation, we can pick one army. And do we want to... Where is the war's fire going on? Modlin is pretty stable, as we clearly see that we have some kind of a stable front line. Definitely, Pomorze army situation is worse, especially with the lowered HQ. And now, with logistics damage, this HQ, and if it was hit with a 6, it would have further been damaged with command range, but fortunately it was not hit with a 6. By the way, it shouldn't be a loose gain step, it should be a flip, also to be fixed. So range of 8, airbase gives +1. I need to switch those colors as well to indicate that this considers a range, not this one. So we've got +1 from the base, 8 plus 1 minus 2. The range is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think those units are out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, those units are out of range, and 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 we have no conflicting orders at this point. So I think it might be a good idea to try to do something with those units. This unit, being out of command, has a movement halved by 2, which is a 2. And it cannot make a move because it has no sufficient MP of whatsoever. So this unit could move back, but it is good to keep this bridge manned. Anyway, we for sure activate Pomorze Army, and let's perform some movements. One. This unit cannot move. This unit can move, but we want to keep it there. But what we can do, we cannot move with this unit, but we can detach a regiment without any movement point considerations. So this is what we are going to do. So let's flip, lose a step. Let's delete this marker and add detach to marker and place a regiment on this hex with a DFR of with one use DFR. It will be something at least. This unit is in range 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Let's move it one hex south for now. This regiment will definitely man this bridge to prevent repairing it. We've got a gap in here which might be, well, it won't be a problem because it will not cut off those units from HQ. For this sector, we will move this Jabłonowo unit to this hex. We will move this 9th division north, 1, 2, 3, 4. And we will place divisional army artillery, not divisional army, because we can do this in army activation. It should be placed in clear or town hex, so not in any kind of rough text, rough hex like forest or hills, and it has to be placed in command range. It has also a range of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, so those units won't be able to use this because they are out of command range. Unit out of range cannot use any support, but it will cover any attacks towards this line. So I think and 1, 2, 3, 4, and will provide support if needed. There's only one shot for this artillery, but we will see where is the worst situation. For now, actually, the withdrawal of Pomorze army is better and more organized than historical. We have a Brodnica unit as well in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and it is also out of range. So we will conclude with this activation. I will break off to quickly make those small corrections for the Vassal module, and with the next part we will finish this turn. So general staff goes 1, 2, 3. We advance time, and let's mark the Pomorze army with, let's say, a bridge marker, just to remember that it was the army that was activated by the general staff. We need to do this, and actually in the game we will have additional army markers to place it on the time track with army activation cheats, because conflicting orders from this cheat will affect only army Pomorze. So for example, if we had a plan activation now, only Pomorze army will suffer conflicting orders. So we've got to 9 p.m. and we will stop here and finish the turn in the next video.